Thanks for bringing that up, Amari. It's kind of just a follow up question to what Chava was just asking, and kind of what you just said. So when you meet someone who either has confusion or has confusion and may even be saying something kind of hateful, so like, none of us need to go spend tons of time in the chat in this room to know that there's a lot of people down there talking about like I glanced down and it was like he didn't need to convert because he's a real Jew, right? Was like one of the statements down there, and that implies that those of us who aren't black Jews, black American Jews, are not real Jews, and we hear that a lot. So when you meet people, I'm sure you sometimes get messages. Sometimes you'll meet people on or off Clubhouse, wherever, and they're saying like, "Hey, it's an honor to meet you. You're a real Jew. We're real Jews, but these other guys, they're not real Jews." What do you say?
There's always that, right? And I think, the ideal of someone saying you don't need to convert. Technically, in order for someone to get grafted into Alam Mobile, to God's kingdom, we all have to somewhat make a conversion, right? We have to change the way we are in order to keep the laws. So every single person and God's creation has to somewhat convert in a way in order to learn how to change themselves and govern themselves. So a conversion is looked upon as a negative thing, but it's really not. Like when we were in the midbar and we said Nase Benisma, we said we would do and we would obey. That was a conversion that all of the children of Israel, when they left out of Egypt, they all had to somewhat convert. And they were already considered to be Jews, but they also had to somewhat convert and take upon that vow, that covenant to God.
Okay.
So for someone who says you should convert, you're already the original one. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if someone is or isn't. We all have to take upon that covenant to God, regardless whether you are or not.
Okay. So just so I understand, like, I mean, my question was really like, what do you say to someone who's talking not in the abstract, right? And who's not really talking about a particular pasuk, and not talking about a particular thing, but they're really just saying, hey, I if someone says that they are a black American and they wake up one day and they say, I feel connected to the ancient Israelites. I think I am an Israelite. I'm an Israelite, and I don't need to convert. Right now, you've chosen to go through a Orthodox Jewish conversion. You are a Jew. You're as much of a Jew as I am, Amare. You are no less a Jew, 100%. Right? There's no doubt in my mind. So what do you say to that person? You've made a choice to join the Jewish people. You're part of our tribe, 100%. This other person says, "Hey, I'm an Israelite. I don't need to convert. I'm already a Jew. Oh, and by the way, all these other people, right? All these other people who are, don't look like me, right? They're not the real Jews. They're Edomites, or they're fake, or they're Amalek, or whatever." What do you say to that person? Because I think what you just said earlier is a beautiful thing, but it kind of avoids the question.
You said a lot. I'm trying to get back to your original question on what you were asking me. I think you
Yeah,
asked
yeah.
about
So what do you say to someone who says, I don't even need to convert?
well, that's on them. If they don't want to convert, then I'm not here to condone conversion. I'm not here to say you have to go through a conversion. I'm not trying to convince everyone to convert. That's not my objective here. My objective is for them to learn how to keep the laws. If you identify yourself as someone who is God fearing, then you have to prove it. And you prove it by keeping the laws. I'm not saying you have to move to Israel. I'm not saying you got to go and do a conversion. I'm not promoting any of that, right? That's the route I took. It was the hard route. It was what my spirit led me to. My neshama led me to that. That's not for everyone, right? So if you want to learn how to keep the laws, then go ahead and have at it. Like I'm not convincing no one to convert. I'm not pointing a finger on the ones who did or did not. I'm not involved in that. My job is to give you the information that you need to learn how to govern yourself and to become a better man, a better husband, a better father, and to build your society, your community in a more conducive way, and that's it.
Okay, so that sounds really positive, and that's fine. And I don't like we as Jews, we don't proselytize. Like we're not out there trying to get people to convert. But the key thing I'm trying to ask Amari is, let's say someone says, "Well, I'm already a Jew. I'm already a Hebrew Israelite. I don't need to convert." What do you say to that person?
Prove it. That's what I would say. Prove it. Are you speaking lashon hara? Are you speaking evil will? Are you committing the favors? Are you committing sin? Are you keeping Shabbat? Are you are you know are you following the laws? Are you keeping all the holidays properly? Prove to me that you are. I want to hear that you are and you're from this and you're that. Prove it, because in God's sight, if you don't keep those things, you're not.